Hello, everybody. I'm purposefully recording this video, this live stream, with the news running in the background. I hope you all can see it. There's a reason behind my madness. You know, I'm listening to Fox News. I'm listening. Uh, I'm just listening to everything that pertains to this impeachment and how. You take a look at that map. It's all red. It's all red. We're going to win, and I don't think there's anything that can stop us from winning. Trump 2020, that is. But yet the news media polls are attempting to tell us, mislead us into thinking that Trump's going to lose, and you have no chance. And if you have no chance, why go out and vote? And that's the psychology behind it. They are constantly claiming that they have a poll from this company or from that company. Yet I've never polled. Are you polled? Yet these polls are always showing Trump losing. But you just saw the map. It's almost completely red, with the exception of a few states, two of which are California, obviously, and New York. And I just, they keep claiming that everybody hates Trump, everybody wants Trump, impeached. Even Republicans now, they're claiming. They're all lies. They're all lies. So silver, I think, is pretty stagnant today. Let's see who's here. Yeah, I did go to dinner. I had sushi by FE Freeze 48. Look at Obama. Hey, if I shut up, can you hear the television? I know if I make it too loud, you won't be able to hear me. So yeah, I had dinner. I went out for sushi. Budget Bullion Stacker, hello, and Geo321, nice to see you back. John Wright, hello everybody, he says. Jesse N, hello to you. Fast Eddie, hi brother. Lord Humongous. Mr. Bullionaire, hello. I finally caught you live stream. How are you doing, my friend? I am doing fine, thank you. Just got back for dinner, getting ready for, work tomorrow. So I'm actually here in California. I haven't done any live videos because I'm here in California for work purposes. I mentioned this yesterday, and that's why you haven't seen many videos of me. I'm going to be here for another week or so. I'm in the Oxnard area. Donato Trumpas, thank you for being here. Budget Bullion. Robert McGee, haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you here. Thank you so much for Navy CB. Good evening. I'll be at Wainebi tomorrow. Mr. Navy CB. California is going off grid. Hey, let's take a look. Don't believe the polls. No, they're all lies. They're made to manipulate people and con them into thinking a certain way. A lot of psychology goes into propaganda like that. Latinos for Trump. Amen. Bo T in the house. Have you ever smoked weed? Well, I've done a few things in my life. When I was young, I'm 56 years old. I kind of grew out of a lot of things I've done when I was younger. What's up, fellow slaves? By Pete Hansen. Fast Eddie in the house. R. HOA. Dylan doing things. Most viewers on a live chat. I'm surprised. I didn't know that. I haven't been following much lately. Cowboys win the Super Bowl. Trump wins 2020. Amen, brother. Power outages. I have not experienced any since I've been here. but I'm hearing about them, Lord Humongous. The newspaper reports, as well as the local news here in California, are claiming that when they get a forecast for high winds, what they'll do is they'll shut the power down in that area. Uh, so so no sparking occurs should a power line fall. So that's what's going on. That's so they claim. I tend to believe them. Not everything's a conspiracy theory. Doesn't work. Have problems with your videos. That's by RHOA. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm not getting any other complaints that my video is not working correctly. Somebody gave me $1.90. Well, thank you so much. I haven't gotten to the bottom of the chat, so I can't see who that was. Be ready for the Russia one? Or hey, watching 30. All right. Hey, Taxman, what channel are you watching up to? Watching up to 300 ounces of soy eagle. Right now, this is just Fox News. That's all it is. Federal Reserve note is collapsing. Good. You think Warren might be the runner? It's kind of hard to believe, but unless somebody else steps in, yeah, I think she's going to be the runner. This is Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, fraud extraordinaire, just as dumb as a box of rocks, as my drill sergeant used to call me, or he used to call the platoon. You're nothing but a bunch of dumb rocks, a bunch of dumb as a box of rocks, he used to say. But I'm wondering also if they're trying to. I'm just wondering if Hillary or Michelle Obama is going to jump in, because they're just too extreme, and they know that people are turning away from them. So are they doing this to throw themselves on the sword? That way, when Hillary or Michelle does finally run, everybody will vote for them instead. Are they setting up Hillary or Michelle by running very, very extreme? Are they throwing themselves on the sword for them? Perhaps they know Hillary or Michelle is going to run. And I've been saying this for months. What amount of silver would be enough for a financial collapse? Well, I mentioned this yesterday. None of us has been through it, and I think you were here, Gio. None of us has been through a financial collapse. So it's kind of hard to say what amount of silver. I can tell you this. It's not just silver that's going to get us through a financial collapse. It's being out of debt as well. It would suck if you're, going through a financial collapse and then they came and took your home. Then you're really screwed. What I would do, just imagine this: get enough silver to pay off your debt. Perhaps that's a better answer, but you also get out of debt. Thanks for the honest reply. I respect you more now. Thank you. That's like I said, growing up having a drink. That's like say I grew out of having a drink. I don't drink as much as I used to either. Steve-O, when I was in the military, I used to get freaking drunk crazy. I'm just not a drinker anymore. Some people just grow out of things. Nothing wrong with that, and nothing wrong with the people who still drink, because I hang out with a lot of them still. JT Coin Rings, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Does you coin roll hunt? No. Though occasionally when I'm in the bank, I will ask for a couple of rolls of quarters or whatnot. But I've yet to find any junk silver in any of them. Jack in the house. Yeah, yet there's fires everywhere. You're absolutely correct, Lord. You're absolutely correct. Thank you very much, Silver Miner. Says I'm making a difference. Toker Talk, Sup Stackers, and why not in the house? Uh, do not does. Okay. I see. I meant, do you, where you are, do you have a problem with your videos? No, I don't. I don't have any problem right now. All right. What rate are you taxed at? We give more than half of our income to a useless government. Yeah, you actually do give half. You are taxed more than half of your pay. I don't think that people realize, from the get-go, you're at maybe a 35% tax rate. And you take your paycheck and you do the math, it's at about a 35%, but that's not where the taxes stop. You fill up gas, you're paying for taxes. You go to the store and buy anything, you're paying taxes. You like to go camping. They claim that the parks are the people's. Everything's the people's. All the parks and everything. Oh, but you want to go camping in it? Yeah, you're gonna have to pay a permit to go camping in it. And you guys know what permit means. It's short for permission. So it's your park, but you have to pay. And that's not just parks. I mean, you want to go fishing, you got to pay. In your lakes, they claim it's yours. But it's funny how the government's always the one collecting the fees for that. You want to add, it's your house. It's your house, they claim. And I know I covered this yesterday. It's your house, they claim. You want to do an add-on? Oh, yeah. You need a permit. And you know what I say? Permit's short for permission. So there's so many other taxes. I can't even, there's taxes on all your bills. You take a look at your cell phone bill, your electric bill, your water bill, your gas bill, your everything. Everything has a tax to it. Everything. And I said this yesterday in yesterday's video. The government put the mafia out of business. That's because they were in competition with the government. And then after the government put the mafia out of business in the early 50s and in the 60s, the government then took over those tactics. Michelle Obama, yeah. One of the two of them. And I think the others are like acting really extreme and like crazy. So they're all going to acquire their voter support. This is what I think is going to happen. They're all going to acquire their voter support. And then what they're going to do, Michelle or Hillary Clinton's going to run. And then they're all going to support her and tell all their supporters to go, no, don't vote for me, vote for Hillary. No, don't vote for me, vote for Michelle. I think that's what's going on. They're all because there's so many of them. I mean, it's just amazing. And I think each one is trying to acquire voters from a different spectrum of people. And once they gather what they think is all the voters between the 12 of them, I think they're going to all stand behind and support whoever comes in, and then tell their supporters to vote. No, don't vote for me. Vote for that bitch. Let me say hello to some more people. Yeah, I'm purposely leaving the news on in the background. It gives me ideas what to talk about. It also might, I don't know if you guys can even hear it. Brandon 0069. The Bible mentioned the sounding of the trumpets. We did not know it would be spelled trumpets. Awesome. I love that, man. $600 to re-register my Ford every year in California. Amen, brother. Amen. Slavery never ended. It what? It was perfected. Mabel, Mrs. Mabel at your service, by Mabel Simmons. Thank you so much for being here. Uh, so Dylan doing things. I think he's asking somebody mil spec. Should I invest in gold or eagles or maples? I think he's asking somebody by the name of mil spec. But I like to put my 2 cents in. When you put the two together, maples are so much more yellower. I think the maples, due to that gold yellow, uh, it just they look better. I think the maples, just the color itself looks just better. Um, buy one of each, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Both have an ounce of gold in it, by the way. Both are an ounce of gold. One weighs, I think, more than an ounce, but there's only an ounce of gold within that total weight, and the rest is just filler, like different alloys. And that's the American Eagle, if I recall. Like I said, I think the American Eagle weighs more than an ounce, but there's only an ounce of pure gold in it. But it's those alloys, those additional alloys, that give it that dull look. And I wouldn't call it dull. It's just not as bright yellow as I'm used to seeing good gold. Remember, Canadian maple leaves are illegal to export. Have you seen the asteroid in space? They're claiming it has a bunch of gold in it. I heard about that, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. We'll see. But think about this. All right, just think about the logistics, the cost of the logistics of landing on a asteroid and drilling for gold. It costs too much, and by the time you actually drilled and mined it, the freaking asteroid be in another solar system. I just don't think they're going to go for it. It just too much money. It would be. I don't think it'd be worth it.
Luckily, in this city, we know the truth. That's funny. Joining me now, Gary McCarthy, former superintendent of Chicago PD, Bernie Carrick, former NYPD.
Going wasting so much time and money. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Hey, if I can get a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. I'm being quiet because I'm actually reading the comments here. So, I'm trying to read, any good questions I'm trying to answer. I'm also listening to news in the background. It is comical.
You need to respect the office. For instance, I met with President Obama on a couple of occasions, and quite honestly, the Department of Justice under his administration was probably the worst enemy of policing.
Yeah, so I'm in Oxnard, California right now.
And they've helped create the environment.
Yeah, what do I think about the Bitcoin spike by Robert McKee? I love it, and that's why I say with silver you have a chance, and with cryptos you have a chance, as well as gold. But let me just rephrase that. Precious metals and cryptos, you have a chance. Cryptos are up right now, and theoretically, if you bought while they're low, and if you sold, you made a couple of bucks. That's called having a chance. I'm holding on to it. I made the big mistake of being a naysayer about cryptos, so I really didn't start purchasing cryptos very, very late in the game. I don't have very many cryptos. And in fact, after I started buying cryptos, I then bought the house, and then the house turned out to need a whole bunch of dire repairs. So it's not like I bought any cryptos lately anyway. So I have some regrets in not getting into cryptocurrency earlier. I do think cryptos, whether you like it or not, is going to be the money of the future. One of them, or a couple of them, will be the monetary system of the future. No ends, no ifs, no doubts about it. And regardless of what you think, it's gonna happen. In my opinion, cryptos are better than the dollar. Uh, I haven't seen the dollar spike. Have you? No. Everybody will say there's nothing back in the cryptocurrency. It's all the dollars. No, what's back in the dollar? What's back in the dollar? You know what's back in the dollar? Nothing. The only reason why the dollar is so successful is the people's confidence in it. That's why the dollar is used. Without confidence in a monetary system, it won't be used. People losing confidence in the dollar, and many more are gaining confidence in the crypto market. I wish I had more. I really screwed up that one. Shelby Silver Stacker and Robert McGee. I already said hello. Timothy Mack. The blockchain is good tech, but needs to be made better because Bitcoin is using 1% of the electricity around the world. Central banks are not buying crypto, they are buying gold. I guess you haven't heard about JP Morgan. Look into him. What am I saying? Who's the CEO of JP Morgan? His name escapes me. But look him up. I meant to say, not JP Morgan. God darnish. What is the guy's name, the president of JP Morgan? Anyway, he's actually bullish now on cryptos. How much money should we have in a savings account? Jamie Dimon, that's the name. Jamie Dimon went out and preached against cryptocurrency. About a month later, he was caught saying he's all in on it. So enough money to pay off a couple of months' bills. That's it. Other than that, buy silver. Is crypto a psyop to keep people away from precious metals? I doubt it. Nothing backs the dollar, Richard Simpson. What backs the dollar? You're saying nothing backs crypto. And I get that. You're right. What backs the dollar? Dollar's no different than the crypto.
Well, Gary and I both worked for Mayor Giuliani, who created the Renaissance of New York and proved one thing to the entire country. Nobody wants to live, work, visit, or go to school in a place where they're not safe, where mothers have to put their babies in bathtubs to protect them from random gunfire. That's what's going on in Chicago.
Shelby is right. Don't spend more than you earn. I mean, obviously. Let's see. Who else is here? A couple months' bills is like $1,000 for me. And that's okay. Put a couple months' bills in the bank. If there's any extra money that's just going to sit there, why let it sit there under their control? If it's just going to sit there, and if you don't need it to pay bills, meaning that it's extra money, take that extra money and put it into silver or gold. Or cryptos. Preferably silver and gold first. You still have the money. It's just like trading in $4 or $5 bills for 20. You're just taking it from the bank, and you're taking that fiat currency and put it into precious metals. It's kind of just like trading. You're not spending the money in the bank when you take that extra money out. You're just reallocating it into a different monetary system, so to speak. Mike in New York. Mike, I think I asked you, what part of New York? Hey, early to stacking silver currently. My goal is to buy an ounce of gold eventually. Mine too. One of these days. For your first gold coin, would you go Eagle or Maple Leaf or Buffalo? Ooh, tough one. I definitely would not go Eagle. although I have nothing against the gold eagles, but I think the maple leafs have got that better looking color, that richer gold color. But now where you threw the buffalo in the mix, that buffalo is a beautiful coin. To be honest with you, first coin would be the my first coin would be the Canadian, second coin buffalo, and that's tight. I mean that. Oh, I can easily go buffalo or Canadian, but for now, I would say the Canadian, the buffalo, and in third coin, if possible, an eagle. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with the eagle. It's just my personal preference as far as the richness of color, the visual. When you look at a Canadian maple leaf, it looks just a rich gold color. And thank you so much for that super chat. I really, really appreciate it. Chicago violence views. Let them kill themselves, Navy CB. They did it to themselves by electing these socialist, communist into office. They further did it to themselves, and they further deserve what they get because they keep re-electing these imbeciles into office. I can understand mistakenly voting somebody into office, but then to keep voting them in, you're a special kind of stupid. And it's these places that are just basically they've enslaved the people by giving them welfare. You got one candidate on one side. I like to get our finances under control. In order to do that, we're going to have to cut down wasteful spending. We're going to have to maybe cut back on the welfare and the free programs and get the people to work. And the other side says, well, I'm going to give you more free programs. And you're not going to have to work for them. Who do you think the people are going to vote for? That's what's going on. It's buying the votes. It's really a shame. It truly is. A lot of people just don't want to work. Yeah, Lord Humongous, you are 100%. Take a look at Lord Humongous's comment. JP Morgan is rigging the precious metals market along with a couple of other banks. They swap. They call each other, and I'm oversimplifying it. Hey, we're going to dump a bunch of silver paper onto the market. We need you, and it's going to be done at this time, at this second. Need you to instantly pick it up. And that way there appears to be a large volume being bought and sold and bought. And they do this on a regular basis. Okay, now you need to buy it back. So they just keep buying it back and forth to each other. And and it might be three banks that are doing it. And it makes the volume of sales look like it's through the roof when it's just, there's actually two silver markets. There's actually two gold markets. There's the paper market and the physical market. Unfortunately, when they sell a bunch of paper bullcrap, it affects the physical market. That's what's going on. They are actually rigging the price of silver. They can manipulate it any way they want, and that's another reason why you should buy precious metals, because one day that is going to stop. And when it does, you're going to see the price go so far up, you will be surprised. And some people on this website, this chat room, will be filthy rich, because I've heard some of the numbers some people have of silver. I've heard some of them. My first gold coin was a buffalo, and Gabriel, I'm not wrong. That's a beautiful coin, am I? So, as far as silver now, the witness asked me, as far as silver, maple or the silver eagle, it's the eagle. So I'm opposite the gold. Silver, it's the American eagle, and then maple leaves. I would say 95% of my stack is eagles. I say about another 3% is maple leaves, and the remaining 2% is just generic rounds. I do also have some like the not generics, like Queen's Beast in there and stuff like that. But I don't have many of those to really account for a percentage of my stack. I think I have 3 or 4 Queen's Beasts total.
What role did Russia play in the operation?
Gold is down a little. Just bought a quarter ounce. Nice. I'm gonna buy one of those Seaway. One of these days, I'm gonna buy a quarter ounce, and it'll be my first quarter ounce. I have I think I have only three 1/10 ounce. I'm holding my pinky up. A 1/10 ounce is about the size of my fingernail, which is smaller than a dime, and it's actually slightly thinner than a dime. That's all the gold I own, unfortunately. So I want to address a question I received in my email. And I mean no disrespect, because the guy was right. It's by Big K Rouge, I think his name was. He wanted to know, hey, it's been quite some time, Overtaxed, since you bought some silver. And he wasn't rude or anything. But he was curious, and I think he was concerned that, hey, are you pumping silver? I don't think he said quite those words, but I kind of looked, how you look into the message, or did you quit silver? And are you really just all in on cryptos? You haven't bought it. This is a silver channel kind of thing. That's how I got it. It's a silver channel, but you haven't bought any silver for a while. And I tell everybody again, my number one investment. I'll call it investment. Everybody says, silver is not an investment. It's just a way of holding your wealth. I'll call it whatever I want. My number one investment is silver or precious metal. Number two would be cryptos, not the other way around. And Big K Rouge is correct. I haven't bought any in a long while. I purchased a home. All the inspection reports came back as a clean home. I moved in, and all those inspection reports were bullshit. I had to replace a roof. Thousands of dollars. So I can go out and buy silver like a moron, or I can be an adult and do the right thing and prioritize correctly. I had to do the roof. And then what happened is the water was going between the walls. So you have the stucco exterior, and then you have the drywall interior. But between that, you have boards, your boards that are 24 inches apart or whatever, and then you have your insulation. A lot of the drywall had to be pulled out, torn out. It was moldy. It was soggy wet. It had to be pulled out. They had to bring in dryers and let it run 24/7 for approximately a week. That cost money. All the drywall had to be replaced. And it wasn't in the disclosure report when we went to buy the house. So I don't want anybody to think I have abandoned silver. This is still primarily a silver channel. And no, I have not just gone strictly into cryptos. That is the reason why I have not bought any silver. So that's my answer to Big K Rouge. It's not that I'm abandoning you. I'm scrolling all the way down. It's hard. So many comments. It's hard to read them all. Zach Campbell. He's got a bunch of little icons down there. That's kind of cool. I can't read them all. Yeah, yes, you can. You can buy fractions of crypto. So hypothetically, Bitcoin is worth, we'll just round it to even numbers. I think a Bitcoin is $9,000 as of today. You can buy $50 worth. You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. Litecoin, for example, I think it's 55. Irrelevant. You can literally buy $20 worth, $30 worth, if you wanted to. Okay, so when do I plan on re-entering the silver market? Well, Navy CB, I have to pay off some of those bills, and that's once I do that, I will then re-enter the silver market. You gotta be an adult about it, right? You gotta do the right thing. Rumpelstiltskin. It's all Punch and Judy show. They can't even give you the name of the dog that got injured. The rest said there was no U.S. operation. If you go to the eBay route from a reputable dealer, if you go, I guess he's saying if you buy your silver from eBay, go to a reputable dealer. That's by Debonair Dylan. All right, who else here? Satoshi Nakamoto. I think I said that right. Yeah, pretty much when the house is done, Fast Eddie. And the house is done. I just need to pay off the repairs now. Those bills are rolling in, and whatever savings I had, it went into that. The insurance is helping out a little bit, but not much. But you got to give me credit. I did not sell one lousy ounce of silver. Not one. How much did you spend on house repairs? It's kind of a personal question. I can tell you it's in the area of right around. I say it's pushing right around $6 or $7 grand, but it blows. It really does, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can. I came home one day. We had what they call monsoons here in Arizona, as you might have in your state as well. And I personally had painted the walls. The house is done painted. And one day I come home and I look at the dining room wall, and literally has a bubble in the fresh paint. A bubble about the size of a basketball. Go over it, hit it, and water started leaking out the bubble. And then I started pushing on all the drywall, and it was like soft as Jello. My fingers were going into the drywall, although it looked normal where it wasn't bubbling. And then we come to find out the walls are fucking soggy. I got taken for a ride with this house. Now the house is repaired. Knock on wood. Now the house is livable and it's a beautiful home. But shit happens, and it happens to everybody. That's part of life, and that and I always talk about being successful. Being successful is not about, and I want people to listen to this. This is the most important part of this live stream. Being successful is not having the nicest car, or having the nicest house, or having the most silver. That is not being successful. Being successful is when you have a problem, or shit happens, as it all does to us all, and we're able to get past it. We're able to negotiate the correct paths of the bumps in life. That's being successful. Having the mindset and being able to overcome. That's, I guess, the word I'm looking for. Overcome problems in your life. Learn from your mistakes. That is successful. Because all the silver in the world, folks, if you die tomorrow, I guarantee you there is no plan to have that silver go with you. Have that house or that BMW go with you. And trust me, I would love to own a BMW one day, a 500 series. I would love to. But that's not success. Just remember that. Don't worry about trying to keep up with the Joneses. That's all I got to say as far as my little words of wisdom. Stop paying your mortgage death row. Oh no, but then they come and take your home. Success is being happy. Yeah, but you're only going to be happy if you're able to overcome obstacles, right? You can't be happy if you've got a bunch of unresolved obstacles, right?
reports by Mark Meredith for more on the Democrats' plans to vote on a resolution they say will only affirm what they're already doing. All right, good evening, Mark.
And good evening to you, Shannon. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says lawmakers will vote on a resolution this week to formalize the next steps.
Can you hear the television?
Now, this is not a vote on the actual articles of impeachment. Instead, Democrats say the vote is meant to send a message to the Trump administration.
It's not an impeachment resolution.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is defending her decision to hold a vote formalizing the impeachment inquiry process.
The resolution just says they're having
All right, so you can. Good. So, can I tell you how wallets work? I just saw that. I saw a question, and I kind of scrolled down. So your wallets. I can't really tell you. They hold the key to the account. Your cryptos are still actually on the market, but they can't access the key to where somebody can steal your cryptos. I got Trezor. I got something like Trezor. I think it's another name brand, but yeah, I think if you got over $100, you should have an external wallet, because the external wallets are actually about $200, 179, $200 right in there. So I actually say if you have $200 worth of cryptos, it might be wise to get one of those external wallets, electronic wallets. Not worth it if you only have $50 worth of cryptos.
Lawmakers, government filed a lawsuit last week asking a judge to decide if he had to comply.
Yeah, that's what I got. Fast Eddie, the Ledger Nano. That's what it is. Why do you think parties of presence make any difference? They're all controlled. I want to do something here. That's a good question. And I like talking in metaphors. So this is going out to the Lord Humongous. 2 pieces of paper, identical pieces of paper. Let's just pretend that this is a red or a different color piece of paper. So what happens with it, we'll just say Republicans, Democrats. And when you put the pieces together, let's just pretend one is slightly bigger than the other. Just slightly bigger than the other. You can see the overlap. And we'll overlap it on this side too. So you got a little overlap on top and here. That's the parties. Okay, can you see that? A little overlapping. That's the parties. They're all in agreement on the bulk of everything, and just on the fringes. There's a little stuff there to confuse the people. Maybe on the fringe, there's abortion, and then over here there's maybe the party wants to give away welfare and the other doesn't. You see the little overlapping is what I'm trying to talk to you about. That's the parties. They're so similar, and they just pretend to be different on a couple little things. So I got to agree with him. The problem is somebody other than this paradigm got into office. His name is Donald Trump. And he is totally different. Totally different. He's an outsider. I don't think he's anything like the Republicans are that we're used to, nor is he anything like, obviously, the Democrats. I think he's completely different. He's an outsider. He is the reason, that is the reason why they want him out. Yeah, on the fringes, there's that socialist also. One is socialist. But all in all, when you get them both into office, whether you got Biden in or you got Obama or who else ran when Obama was running, no matter who ran and whoever won was going to be the same as Obama, virtually. I don't believe Trump is bought and paid for. No. And I'm telling you something. I'm not a Republican. And a lot of people need to stop thinking about politics as joining a football team or being Oh, following that football team is my football team. How dare anybody say anything bad about my football team? Meanwhile, they haven't won a game all damn year. But it's my football team.
Turner, thank you. How was after the world's most notorious terrorist was killed in the U.S. Special Forces
People become part of a party and they follow them like imbeciles. This is not a football game. It's not like choosing your favorite team. And you'll find people, they'll pick a team and follow them through the rest of their lives. This is not football. This is your livelihood. And you're following one particular team for the rest of your freaking life? No, you follow them as they support your needs. And that means your party could possibly change from election to election. But to say no matter what they stand for, no matter what they stand for, I'm a Republican. But no matter what they stand for, I'm a Democrat. I don't give a damn what they stand for. I'm a Democrat. I've always been a Democrat. My mom is a Democrat. My daddy's a Democrat. You got to be a flipping moron to think that way. It's no different than a person. If you met me and you liked me, and then the next day I did something wrong to you, you're going to like me again? You're going to still like me? Oh, you might forgive me once, but after that, you're going to be like, get the hell away and don't even come near me again. That's how people need to treat their political favorites. I don't know if I'm articulating this right. I do not belong to a political party. I am not a Republican. I am not a Democrat. And it gives me the ability to step back and look a little bit more clearly. I'm not in love. Why did I bring up love? You got a lot of guys that fall in love with some chick. Their friends are saying, hey, this chick is screwing around on you. She's no good for you. But the guy's in love and he doesn't see it. Yeah, she kissed me. He doesn't see it. But when he finally pulls away from her, he can then see what she truly is. That's what I'm trying to say. Two people are too involved, too emotional over their party. You know, it's my party, it's my team. Your team? No. You think you're part of their team. They are not part of your team. There's a difference. Go try knocking on their door. Yeah, I'm here for the convention dinner. I'm part of the team. Can I come in? You'd have that door. You'd be escorted off that property, thrown into the street if not arrested. You'll see how fast you're not on their team by showing up for one of their little parties. I'm part of the team. We ain't got my flag. You see what I'm saying? You guys got to stop being Democrats. You guys got to stop being Republicans. That's the trick. That's the scam. The people are brought up and raised on football and baseball, and they're maybe that's the actual psyop. They get you to choose a team, and you get you raised and bred into choosing a team and only staying with that team.
Maybe that will strengthen their
Fucking morons.
as a matter of law, the House is required in order to be able to use subpoenas and with the full force of an impeachment.
Well, Dan, that's just stupid. Our party must reflect our values. That's what I said. One day, one election, you might be voting for this, and if another party is reflecting your values, another election, you might vote for that. And that's how you need to think. At the time, what are they selling? Is it something that meets your values? But nowadays, people are voting the same party in, regardless whether that party is meeting their values. It's just because, well, my daddy was a Democrat, I'm going to vote Democrat. And then I'm going to teach my kids to vote Democrat. That's just dumb as a box of rocks.
To escape responsibility for this. And the second question, of course, and the ultimate question is, what about the Senate? How is this all playing over the Senate, where a trial will be held and where he's, 2/3 of the place would have to...
Some people say the Republicans or Dems are two birds, and I've already said this. They're pretty much the same. If they use transparencies and put them together, they're pretty much the same with a little bit of overlap. And that's what they try to sell each one different as. But when they get into office, they vote virtually the same. That's what I said. Trump is different. He's nothing like the Republicans or the Democrats. He is the first outsider in many, many, many years to get into office. And that is why they're fighting so hard to get rid of him. He is not. You're right. The Republicans and the Dems are virtually the same, except for Trump. He had to pick a party in order to run, right? That doesn't mean his heart is... I just hit the phone or something? That doesn't mean his heart is in with the Republicans. He just had to pick something legally so he can run. He is an outsider. That's right. Voting, unfortunately, for a third party is throwing your vote away. Unfortunately, it is. Because not enough people are voting for that third party because the news organizations, like a can of Coca-Cola, are selling a particular person. Now they're selling Warren. And people always listen to the news. They can't no longer critical think. They're constantly listening to the news. Well, the news says this. This must be true. I don't have to think now because the news did my thinking for me. I'm going to vote for Warren. Oh, the polls? The polls say Warren's in the lead? Well, I want to be a winner. Let's go for Warren. You'll never get somebody to vote for a third party, unfortunately. Not with the news selling their favorites, like a can of soda, like a marketing corporation. Demon Hunter, I didn't know anything about any pictures about Andrew Jackson.
To Missouri now, where the fate of the only abortion clinic in Missouri is under consideration. A member of the state's Administrative Hearing Commission opened proceedings today.
That's right. And that gentleman who just mentioned it, the Republicans and the Dems are the same with a little extra little bit difference between the two so you have something to decide against. He's right. They're both on the same path. They're both on world domination. They're both on a path of socialism. They're both basically the same. He is right. And they have a plan to actually be the owners of this world. They have a plan to take over this world and literally turn everybody into slaves. Instead of tax them 35% federal income tax, they would love to tax everybody 75%. That's their plan, is to take over and rule the world. Now somebody else got into office, and he was forced to either become a Democrat, an independent. I think he actually ran as an independent, and that didn't work. And then he had to pick he was running as an independent. Then for some reason he picked Republican. It's just a badge. It's just a name. It doesn't mean he believes in that paradigm. Legally, he had to pick independent or Republican or Democrat. He picked independent and didn't work out. Then he picked Republican and ran with it. But he's not the same. He's not bought and paid for. I'm sorry. And any fool who thinks that ought to turn on CNN and the news. If he was bought and paid for, CNN and the news would be protecting him. Like Obama. See, Obama was bought and paid for. Look at all the illegal things Obama did. And they still protect him. Look at the illegal things that Biden has done. Quid pro quo. On television. Admitting it. News says, hey, he didn't do it. That's what you call bought and paid for. So people keep saying, oh, Trump's bought and paid for. No, look at the news. They're against him.
I've never seen anything that works quite as well. Relieving muscle spasms and cramps. TheraWorks Relief. Get TheraWorks Relief today. Available in stores everywhere. JP to help for here, coaching you through my 15-minute full-body ice plunge. Gotta get that internal...
Plata, I don't think it's a big deal at all. No big deal. Just one guy biting, swallowing up another. It's no big deal. Um,
Our mission is to develop new and secure technology to drive the cyber mafia to insolvency.
Umpire's Post, thank you so much. Sheldon, how does some bail Trump out? I don't know anything about that, but everybody's done wrong. See, everybody likes to pick on, oh, Trump did this, Trump did that. You did bad things in your life. Any guy in here that's not homosexual, not that I have anything against homosexuals, I don't want to be a hater, but every guy has wanted to sleep with a lady. Every guy has attempted to sleep with a lady. Every guy has slept with ladies. They pick on little things. Every guy here has done something wrong in their lives. Every one of you, including me. Every one of us, unless we don't have a conscience, is ashamed of something we've done in our lives. We are not perfect. We are imperfect children in the eyes of God. And they have you believe that. Oh no, he did that little thing. He did that little thing. He's not worthy of being a president. The only person that's perfect, if you believe in God, is Jesus Christ. And Jesus is not running. Mortal man is running. And we've all grabbed that snatch. I'm sorry to say. I mean, not without permission. I don't want you to think we walk around when I was a kid grabbing things without permission. But we've all done things. I can tell you, I've done some things in my life. I really, truly have. I am not the man I used to be. And sometimes I lay awake at night thinking of the bad things I've done in my life, ashamed, wishing I can apologize to those people. But that's not the person I am, and that's not the person you are anymore. And I don't believe that's the person Trump is anymore. Don't let the news fool you. Perfect man does not need to run for president. There's no such thing as a perfect man. They'll have you believe it, though. I hope that makes some sense.
Intelligence from numerous organizations throughout the Department of Defense and across the entire interagency.
So, Demon Hunter, good comment. It's already been said Trump will win by a landslide, even by CNN. That's a correct statement. I even saw CNN admit it. To prove to you CNN's a liar, what do? The day before, or the week before? Oh, we took a poll, and even the Republicans, the majority of the Republicans, are now wanting an impeachment. See, their polls. Everybody hates Trump. Everybody hates Trump. No, we took a poll. Trump's ratings are down in the low 40s. We took another poll. Trump's this. Trump's that. Yet that comes out. CNN. Yeah, Trump's going to win in a landslide. So that means everything CNN said before that was a lie. All the polls and all that crap is a lie. Don't listen to the lies. If people hate him so much, including Republicans, how is he going to win by a landslide? Do you always go out and vote for people you hate? I don't think so.
U.S. forces were infiltrated by helicopter. Once off the objective, secured the target compound.
Rooster Cogburn, thank you for being here. Jeffrey Epstein, yeah, that's a friend of the Clintons, debonair. Has Jeff changed now that he's in Israel? I don't know what that means.
The assault force was engaged with small arms fire, and the threats.
Again, when the news protects you, then you can tell that person is bought and paid for. When they ignore obvious, admitted criminal offenses, that person's bought and paid for.
The chairman of the Joint Chiefs says Baghdadi dragged 3 children along with him. The president later said the terror chief went whimpering, crying, and screaming all the way to his death.
We reached the end of the tunnel as our dogs chased him down.
Take care, Dan. I'm almost to bed too.
killing himself and the 3 children. We're told Baghdadi's remains were then taken to a secure facility to confirm his identity with forensic DNA testing. In fact, the near instant forensic analysis appears to be a dramatic demonstration of new capabilities that special forces now possess.
Navy CB. I have a Tag Heuer. I also own 2 Movados. And I also own this iWatch or Apple Watch. Why do you ask?
And with the government has gone official who followed for 4 of Baghdadi's bodies were buried at sea, much like Osama bin Laden. Janet.
Chris Gallagher with all those details. Thank you.
Exactly, umpire is supposed to. We've all made mistakes in the past. We've all hurt somebody in our past. And what's important is if you're any kind of decent human being, you grow up with a feeling of guilt and sorrow that you've done that. If you have any kind of remorse when you accidentally run into them, let's say in a shopping mall, you know, you're afraid to even be seen by that person out of humiliation. So if you're humiliated people want to know if they've changed. Am I the same person? Did I really change? Well, if you're ashamed of yourself, you've changed. You're not proud of what you've done, yes.
Precise. It had very little collateral damage, and it took out the most wanted man in the world. I think this sends a very strong message to the next leader of ISIS or Al Qaeda that you may be next. You know, this is not a position that you should be looking forward to, because we are going to come after you. We're going to find you, and with the intelligence community's efforts here probably took years, not just once. They talk about
Anyway, folks, I've been on for over an hour. I'm going to let you go. I had fun. Grain of salt, he's with the fishes now. I don't think he's with the fishes. Did they say they buried Yabba Dabba Doo, Alibaba, whatever, whoever the hell got killed last night? They said they buried him at sea?
good message based on the fact that we just took out their leader.
And the president came out and spoke to the American people to talk about what had been accomplished, and then there were immediately critics over what he had to share.
Just curious. Did they say they buried him at sea?
Got this all wrong when talking about how it came about. It's really unprecedented when you think about how much detail he actually went into it.
Are you saying it's irresponsible?
I think it's
I didn't know that.
You sounded
Wow. So, did they tell all the Navy people? I mean, what do you call the Navy? They tell all everybody to get to their bunks and not watch it.
trail and you can actually find
So, I'm serious. Was it? Did they have any images of him being buried at sea? Any images of him dead?
Director, what do you make of those critiques?
I think they're ridiculous.
Did they tell all the his own army killed him and his ship probably? Yeah, but they told everybody when Obama died to go to your bunks. We don't want, you can't witness this. I don't believe he was buried at sea. That is Obama.
Not just
And to hide that fact, I think they offed the entire Navy SEAL team in the helicopter ambush.
on Syria a couple of weeks ago because it left the Kurds very much unprotected in parts of their deployments. And they were our best friends and best colleagues.
Yeah, all the cameras on board were broken, just like when the plane hit the Pentagon. It's funny, man. Even a plane going 600 miles an hour, you're going to see it's not going to be a blur because it's so big.
Almost a satire of themselves.
Well, speaking of satire, Saturday Night Live had an
I'm talking about the images of
apparently as this was playing out,
the plane hitting the Pentagon. Yet the hole is only, what was it? At first, the hole was like a 15-foot circumference. It's a pretty small hole for a jetliner.
Yeah, I was prisoner in Syria until last week when you freed me, so I just wanted to say thank you for bringing jobs back to ISIS.
Yeah, the Navy SEALs were killed about a week later, wasn't it? And I think it was to tie up loose ends.
ISIS is back in a big way, folks.
And they claimed it was the Taliban who did it. But you know, there's always a new another
These guys are clouds.
another boogeyman. You know, it's ISIS, it's the Taliban. There's so many goddamn names, and they just keep making up a new one for us to be scared.
With everything they needed to pull off
The Silver Eagle's here.
operation that I have ever known of, and I spent 13 years in that.
Anyway, I gotta run again. It's getting late. I gotta wake up early in the morning and do it all over again.
Little different situation.
I'm gonna try to do a video. I have no silver with me to do a silver video because when I travel, I don't
Our president
carry silver.
to the details
But
in terms of
I'll try to
action
put something together.
and
But you folks have a great day. I really appreciate you joining me on this Monday evening. I gotta run. Take care of yourselves. And give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching.
as the commander in chief.
I'd like to hear the president, particularly in light of